Hello, everybody. It's that time of the whatever when you're listening to this. Your hosts, Infernal and Dragon, at your service.
Hope you are having a wonderful day.
And hope you are ready for some enjoyment and our voices to be in your ears and whatnot. But first, it has come to my attention that you individuals like what you hear. And I have something to tell you. We have more. You can become a subscriber. And then you get all of the bonus, little locked episodes if you're on Spotify. And then, if you don't want to do it that way, because you're like, I am too professional for just audio only, I want video evidence of your greatness, we have Patreon. So, go over there, you type in the patreon.com, you hit the lean into the / Michael Jackson style, Dragon's
Jesus.
Den 55. The 5-5. The Dragon's Den 5-5. And that's where you get all the other stuff that I have put on the Patreon. It's all of the subscriber episodes plus bonus stuff that I have recorded and posted up there as well. So, you want the goods? Come get the goods. We got the goods. Go get the goods. Now, on to the show. League has been so mean to me, at least ranked League, because we had fun, which is rare when all 5 of us are together, when earlier before the show, but like ranked by myself is not kind to me. It don't like me. As you saw in the Discord, I posted I lost 33 points. Like,
Yeah, no, like I know that Riot informed that they are going to be updating the MMR system, so that way you lose less than you're supposed to.
I thought that was supposed to come out already.
It's not out yet.
What the hell?
According to Magma, it's still in the works. I actually need to go back and watch that. But yeah, so according to Magma, that whole system is going to come out later. Which when that system gets rolled out, that is when I'll go back to ranked, because I am not dealing with the bullshit that is the MMR system of League ranked. Because I'm sorry, it's like if you go 3 games, win 2, lose 1, and lose all the points you just gained, that's not right.
No, it really isn't. And I'm on a win streak right now. It's going to end tomorrow, because that's what happens every time I become on a win streak. So
don't
I got
bring in the negativity.
12. It's already negative. I got 12 points on the first win and 21 points on the second. Still less than the 33 that I lost in one.
Wait, isn't that tied?
Well, like, now.
That's 21 plus 12. Yeah, math.
So but that's the thing. I had to win 2 just to gain back what I lost in one game. That's fucking wild. It should be reversed.
it really should be. God, I'm really hoping that the change that they're going to do will fix that, because right now ranked has been like unhealthy. Like, I understand. It's like, hey, we want people to be playing ranked to get to where they want to get. But it's like, cool. Make it worth it, because like, God, I saw someone, they had a 70% win rate. They went on a win streak, and then they lost a game and lost like 3 games worth of points.
Oh yeah, was that the Emerald guy?
I think
was
so.
Like asking for help? Was like, how do I fix my MMR?
Yes, it was him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that was freaking bonkers.
yeah, I know. It's like, I'm just like, oh my God. It's like when that happens, like, how do people keep playing ranked? Like, that is so discouraging.
It's the only mode where you're, for the most part, guaranteed to have an actual game, because you go into regular, you have the people who left ranked but still want a serious game, so are sweating hard beyond reason and being toxic beyond any means. That's why I turned off chat completely. Like this season and further, I don't have chat on. So when AGS had said someone was talking about the mages, I forgot people, like, there were people, because I had it turned off. And
Yeah, you've just been fighting bots this entire time.
yeah, I've just been finding bots. It's really helpful. And so it was like that, and then you have people who, again, are just trolling. Yes, they're trying to have fun, and it's like, oh, let's try this quirky build or whatever. But it's like, up to a certain point, when you do that and it just starts ruining the experience for other people, like, you need to like tone it back. Like, if you're doing something that you know for a fact is not going to go anywhere, bruh.
Well, yeah, but also it's like if you're doing that in norms, like that's one thing.
But that's what I'm saying. But you have the people who don't want to play ranked but want to play the game, but can't play the game because you have too many people who are trying to play ranked in norms or not take the game serious enough to like do anything. Because taking a bunch of L's because no one wants to play serious on your team to some extent is just as discouraging as taking every L in ranked for your points. The game is just not trying to sustain itself. The fact that it's lasted this long is still surprising to me in and of itself. So
Right, especially after Wild Rift came out.
Right. But I think Wild Rift fell off because it's
Mobile.
because I haven't. Well, no, because it requires the skill instead of like in regular League. You can be bad and still do good because of like who you're playing. You're playing someone that literally can't be stopped at a certain point. You just have to make it to a certain point in the game, and boom, you're automatically doing something.
Yeah.
But in Wild Rift, there's no like that delay on the minions. It starts immediately. Everyone's in lane immediately. There's no leashing of like any of that. Like there's no real invading because people can be on you too quickly. So if you try to invade, you lose out on way too much. It's not even worth it. Objectives are way easier to get to, and so there's no, baiting. It's like a lot of the cheese strategies that are used in the main game can't be used in Wild Rift because there's too many utilities to prevent that. Because it's supposed to be like, okay, you need to work as a team to get these objectives. You need to work as a team to do these fights. You can't just be out on alone. Even if you're fed, you're still getting shut the fuck down by like two people. It doesn't even take a team to kill you anymore because the characters are way more balanced because of the way that they change the abilities into Wild Rift. So it's just like, I feel like it fell off because the reality is that if you're not good, you're just not good, and it shows.
Yeah.
And no one wants to face that they're not good, especially if they're good in their mind, because they'll start blaming anyone else in a heartbeat. They're like, "Oh, it's your fault," and they're face checking 8 bushes. No, you put a ward there.
Don't worry, guys. I can see in the darkness. I can't see shit.
It's like, oh god, I can't see shit.
God, like in that game today, I just put a ward in the entire enemy team right there. It's like, oh.
Yep. It's like, I wasn't even face checking. I put the ward, and they were like, surprise. I was like, yeah, leave me alone.
I fucked up.
And same with Overwatch. I don't know how Overwatch is still even, because we had talked about it before.
That's a game I really don't know how it survived.
Such a negative like reception of it, and it's like, how
people
do
still playing
you
it?
get anything? Well, yeah, because we're bored. I was playing because I was bored. I have nothing better to do in a lot of these cases because it's like, Apex. No, if I go in Skyrim, I'm never doing anything else again. I won't even do the show anymore because I'll be playing Skyrim. I don't have to be on the computer for a Skyrim. Like, Elder Scrolls is one thing because I can play that all a bunch, but I'm still on the computer. So, gotta record. Boom. Record playing Elder Scrolls, like what we did for the previous episodes. Hit Patreon, Dragon's Den 55. And we have that. It was like, Ghostwire is here. I haven't started Ghost Runner.
All the Ghost.
And Alexa, and then like, even Fortnite's on my computer, like, because since I've switched over. So a lot of it, like, if I don't want to be on my PS4 or my Xbox, well, mainly just my PS4 at this point, because the only thing I play on my Xbox is Skyrim. And it's like, yeah, I need something else to do. Like, because I only play 2 games of League, like, on my own, and that's it. so I don't have any other like competitive type things. I don't play Valorant. I stopped playing COD because that has been busted beyond reason. We all know how I feel about Destiny. If you don't, you'll find it in the episodes when you go back. If this is your first episode, welcome.
It's definitely in the earlier episodes where we talk about Destiny a lot.
And
Mostly ranted about it.
It's just like it's not there, and there's so many fun characters in Overwatch. I missed it so much. Like Kiriko's fun, Mora, Mercy before she was painted. Symmetra's still fun. Sombra's still fun. Bastion can go fuck himself. Junkrat, obviously, I think they buffed his damage since the last time we've been there because like his like contact damage is stupid. Like you take 2 of those to the face, you're dead.
Roadhog.
Yeah, like even the Roadhog changes aren't terrible. It's problematic, but they're not terrible. Like you can still deal with it. So, like I said, it's still something like I wanted to be a part of, and like they have so many beautiful skins that they've done over the time, and that was a lot of the reason why we played because I'm slut for cosmetics. And
yeah, the only downside is with Overwatch 2, it's like they pretty much made it so it's like impossible to get cosmetics for like free.
Yeah, because they're money grubbing, and because everyone hates the game. Otherwise, like that's the only way that's pretty much why I think they're sustaining themselves is all of this money being funneled in. Overwatch League is still a thing.
All the whales.
Isn't that crazy? And like, there's a lot of teams. I still remember being a part of that inaugural season. That was a fun season. The Florida team was terrible. But man, were they entertaining.
Yeah, that's pretty much all they had going for them.
That is all that they had going for them. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that is just like the state of skill set. It's just you're good enough to be on a team professionally, but you're not good enough to compete on the global stage. That's just what it is. Same with League. That you have all these minor teams that are good enough to be on these teams and go and in their regional like competitions and do well for their season and hold their own. But the second you start getting no go, go.
Especially with NA these past couple years, like the moment NA hits the national stage, like they just start falling off.
Yeah, because they crap their pants. They're like, oh, look at us, we're a big bad, and they're like a toddler amongst like preschoolers, and then they go up with other toddlers and first graders, and then, oh, God.
It'll be interesting to see how NA and the other regions do this split with the item changes and map.
It is a chaotic scene. It is a chaotic scene. I think, so T1 would have played a day of this going live 2 days ago. And hopefully I enjoyed that. I know we're going future past, we're talking, sorry. But yeah, because I will be heading off to work before that game starts, so I'll be able to watch that full game. And so I can't wait to say it, because when I hope it's not soon, but like Faker needs to retire.
That's right, because he signed on for another year.
Yeah. So it's like
I'm not sure.
I don't think the king's gonna be dethroned, but I'm thinking his kingdom is going to like fall apart around him.
Like, I feel like it'd be interesting to see him become a coach.
No. No.
I mean, it will be interesting to see.
No, that would be sad. It's like that would be the equivalent of the star high school football player coaching Pee-wee. Like that's the gap. That's the gap in skill of what he can do compared to what everyone else can do. And like, yes, he would be able to like give more tips and stuff and whatever, but the reality is that what he does and can do will never be able to translate. That's why he's the king. That's why no one is telling me otherwise. and you're not reaching the levels Faker is
Yeah,
at.
because like this past Worlds, like Faker and Ruler, if I remember right, because Ruler's the top laner.
Yes.
Oh no, Zeus.
Oh no, yeah, Zeus. Yeah, Zeus's top laner. Wasn't Ruler the was Ruler support?
No, I think Ruler's. Wow. Okay, hang on. I'm checking this. I don't want to be giving false information. I'll see it myself. Let's see. Ruler. What role are you? He is a okay. Ruler's the bot laner.
Okay.
Oh, and Ruler's not even on T1. He's on JDG.
Really? That's hilarious.
Yeah, let me look up this T1 team.
Hilarious. But yeah, Zeus, like Zeus, Ruler, Gumayushi, all of them, they're great, and they will always give us great performances and play and all of this insight of them coming up and whatnot. But again, it just doesn't translate. Now, one of the other T1 members that have been on as long as, or like almost as long as Faker's been around, I feel like they would be good coaches because they're still within an attainable level. Because that's ultimately what you want with like your coach. You want to be able to pass on your skills that you have gained slash still gaining because the coaches still play. They just don't
Yeah.
like play on the team or whatever. To really to get a greater understanding of the game and to increase who they're coaching's abilities to the point that ideally they're better than you. But they obviously, you're still the coach and like you have more insight because you can see from the that omniscient point of view instead of from in the game, and that's what keeps the that dynamic relationship like going. But like when you're a king of kings, like Faker is the Gilgamesh of League, and it's just like you. At a certain point, you no longer can see what it's like to be
Can
at a
we see
lower
fan
level.
art of Faker on Gilgamesh's throne?
That would be fantastic. Internet, please make it happen.
Please.
If it
Also,
hasn't.
yeah, right. Yeah, look into that. But yeah, real quick, yeah, T1's team, the jungler was Owner. The top lane was Zeus. So I just call him Zeus because that's easier for me. Bot lane was Gumayushi. Support was Kyria, and of course, we know the Demon King of the mid lane.
Oh yeah, Kyria is such a menace,
Guy,
and
he has some good plays in the world.
he is such a menace, and it's because he's such a good support. He's like, hey, I'm gonna make it where you guys can't do shit, and then my guys are gonna come in and hurt you. And like, what was it? This guy I follow on TikTok. I can't remember the account name because I don't look at half of them, but it is so funny. But basically, he calls in the boo boppers, and it's so funny. I'm gonna have to call the boo boppers on you, and that's essentially what T1 does to everybody. They just boo bop everybody, and I'm just like, oh, guys. And it's yeah, I know he's going to stay involved in some capacity. I just, from seeing his personality and listening to his interviews and how he talks about playing with his team and going through that with his various teams, I feel like a little bit would be fine as coaching, but I feel like he would have more fun as a caster.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of similar to how like different realm, but for NASCAR, a lot of like drivers when they retired, like a lot of them became casters for like the races and stuff.
Yeah, it's
God
because
damn, Faker's only 27.
yeah,
Wow.
only.
Wow.
This man's
Oh
been
yeah,
doing this for most of his life.
I know, right? But hey, no, that's great for him, honestly.
Oh no, it most definitely is. I want nothing but the best for this individual, and like I hope that when he like steps from leagues, that there is just like a pile
It,
of money for him to just sustain his life forever.
right. Yeah, like if he decided to become a caster, I think that That'd be interesting to see.
I feel like that would give him the greatest like sense of, I don't want to say purpose, but the same feeling of when he was playing, because now he can really like get into it. Like he can be more vocal about the state of the game, how he feels about the game, like how these people are doing, the ones who are his former teammates, the people who are his current teammates, how they've progressed and saying. And that's what you want to hear. Like, I would love to hear those kind of, like, what NA thinks they're doing when they start talking, I want to come out of Faker's mouth. Because it would mean something. The NA casters, when they talk, it's just bullshit. And not to, like, discredit them in what they do, it's just, you guys seem so detached from the game at that level that it's like, guys, you're just kind of rambling at this point.
If you want to talk about detached from the game, going back to that one pro game that went on for like a couple hours, like if you want to talk about detached, like those casters, like they had nothing to say. Like they were literally like they were just trying to find something to talk about. I
Which
think
is
that
crazy.
game went on for like over 2 hours, I think.
But I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's just like that's how my brain works, that the longer something's going, I feel like it's easier to talk about, because now you have predictions of how you think it's going to go, right? That's a standard. You have predictions, you have stats of the players, you have current standings of the season depending on what you're casting on. You have if you're going back to like the players, like the former teams, like if there's any kind of like rivalry matchups, you have that's all beginner stuff, right? But the longer it goes, that's when you can get into the deep stuff. That's when you can get into your knowledge and connection to the game, because now everyone's invested into it. And like when you have a slower point, for like example, when like you have people fighting over like Dragon Pit and it's that standoff, because they're trying to like wait for that one person to get into position so that they can take advantage of it, and it's just like that moment of like silence that everyone's holding their breath waiting for the trigger to be pulled. That's when you're like you throw in like those quick ones of like, oh, who do you think it is? It's like, oh, if they just like half step here, do you think it's going to be like that? It was like, oh, did you see that? Like half step, it was like, that could have been bad. Like if they pulled it there, what do you think's going through their minds right now? Thinking it was like, oh, it was like, they know that this, especially with they having more information of the map, because these guys don't know what's going on in game, but you know what's going on outside. There's so much more to provide to the game because you have this omniscient look that I feel like these guys don't do. They get so sidetracked on the wrong things. It's aggravating. And it's only in A. And I'm like, how do you guys not figure out how to do this better? All the other regions do this better. The regions, I don't even understand what they're saying is better.
Yeah. I remember last season when it came to the games that were enjoyable to watch, it was, well, obviously because I can't understand any of the Asian languages, unfortunately. EU, like the EU games, those were fun to watch because the casters over there were like always excited and just had fun.
Yeah, but they're also knowledgeable.
Well,
Like
that too.
they're saying things that you're like, oh shit, that, yeah. And they'll be like, oh, like this could have turned all of this, but it's like, oh, this is looking the way it is. And then they put in their 2 cents
You the
about,
play-by-play.
yeah, they do play by play, but then they give you that more in depth of it, because showing that they're okay, you're still at a point in the game that you can understand what it's like to be pro level. Like you do have like casters who were pros at one point, and they were like, oh yeah, back then, and then you have like the comparison, and that's was like, again, it can just be me wanting more engagement of intelligence versus kind of pandering.
It's probably that for you.
But I feel like I can't be the only one, especially for someone who's like dedicated. Like a lot of these people have been following these teams from like day one. They've known way more stats than these casters. I can't be the only one who looks at these casters and they're like, guys, I could do better.
Yeah. Well,
I
because like
can't
when it
be the
comes,
only one.
because if I remember right, last season one of the main like casters for the games, like didn't they like move him to like a different like department or something? Because I
I
remember Magma was like upset about that because like
I,
he was
I
like because like, he was like one of the
think
main things like Magma liked about like the games was that caster.
yeah, I think he ended up going somewhere else. I vaguely remember that. Like there was a whole bit about him like disappearing, coming back, whatever. In like also their cheesy games are just like guys. It's almost like you're
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
like
do icebreakers for camp
yeah,
children.
the middle like the mid game like little events that they put on. I hope they don't do that this season because God,
Like it's so
there was
bad.
no point to them. It's like we're going to make a cake. Like really?
Like what? Yeah, right? I was like, I understand. Like you have these things where you're interacting with the players. Like I don't mind that. I like the 1v1s. I like the like interaction, like the
Or
stories that comes of it.
yeah, or just like do what like EU or the other regions do, like sit them down and have a chat. Like, you don't need to
Right?
do
Like
any of
have
this like
them take.
campy
But
stuff.
like all yeah, it's just too much, and I don't. I ugh.
Like NA is just trying to put on a show
And
that
it's a bad show.
is a very bad show.
It's a very bad show.
Bad
How has
rating.
this not been canceled because these ratings are terrible?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they did kind of stop that like after like the mid season.
Yeah, no, yeah, they do. They bring it back. I'm hopeful per usual because like the seasons are really good like to watch and there's so many teams, so like you'll never ever catch up on everything. So,
Like
but there's
I
always
miss.
stuff like to watch and good stuff
I know,
on
and
that
which
front.
makes me mad because like a lot of the teams I want to watch are always when I'm asleep.
Yep. A lot of them will be when you're asleep. That is the unfortunate side effect of being on the east coast of the states.
Yeah.
All the fun stuff that's happening on, the eastern side of the world is not not waiting for us to get moving.
Yeah, no, heck, even some of the like NA games like started like at 6 in the morning. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I, it's one of those things. And I'm hopeful that the state of like the games sphere kind of picks up, because we have like a lot of because we did the episode on the games that are to come, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of games coming. So I'm like, please, like pick it up. Like I need more in my life. Like we're getting more unique
Yeah,
things, and I'm
I need to
here
double
for
check
it.
that list because if I remember right, there was that like Ronin game that was supposed to be coming out. Um, it, that one looked interesting. Like I need to see when that comes out because I might actually pick that up.
Yeah, so
Um, I need to
it's
double check. I also just need to double check the list. Period. Because like I remember like there's so many games and like I cannot remember all of them coming out.
yeah. Then there was many a game, and so it should be very shoot. Smite has a second coming out, so Smite 2 is coming.
I heard about that, and I also heard a
Um,
lot of people mad because their skins won't carry over. But that's the whole thing.
oh no! Like they're literally jumping two engines because I watched a video on that. It was like people were like, yeah, like your things are coming, and they were trying to explain. I was like, guys, um, it's
Yeah,
Unreal Engine 5
yeah, from 3, and
from
so like
3. Yeah,
so
this
we'll definitely
ain't
have to
gonna
try.
work the same.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to check it out once Smite 2 comes out. Check it out, see how the graphics are. I would assume it's gonna be on PC.
Just the pre-alpha footage from their little trailer looks amazing.
Yeah, God. Speaking of Unreal, like here's hoping when it comes to specifically the future Bethesda title, Elder Scrolls 6, please have them use the Unreal Engine. Like I really don't want them to use their own engine because of how Starfield came out.
Yeah.
Like if you like Starfield, that's good on you. But let's face it, it looks like a game that came out like 2013, 2014. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that they use Unreal, because could you imagine an Elder Scrolls game in Unreal Engine?
Oh, it would be freaking beautiful. It would
Yeah, it's
be
like
phenomenal.
I need
Phenomenal.
to see that.
Yeah, it was things. So yeah, Smite 2 is coming in spring. Their alpha will
Yeah,
be.
we'll probably try that out once it comes out.
I'll have to
If
let
you want
my
if you want to
coworker
see
know.
that, you'll have to check us out on the other side of things.
The other side of things, yeah, that's for them special people who really support us and really love us. And yeah, so we're gonna switch things up because it is a new year, a new us, kinda. And instead of the Reddit Would You Rather, we're going to go with the recommendation of the week. So what would
Recommendation.
be, yes, and this could be anything. I am not going to limit you to just one thing. It's just your recommendation. So like a show you've watched, a game you've played, a book you've read, a joke you saw. What would be your recommendation to spread some joy to our listeners?
Hmm. Ooh, I need to think about that, because, well, if for those that are fans of anime and are fans of Blue Exorcist, the new season has come out for that. Most recently, we're at 2 episodes, and honestly, it so far it's been pretty good. Like, I am very happy with. I'm just happy to have Blue Exorcist back.
Yep. I
Um,
too have an anime recommendation, and it is Solo Leveling.
right. I honestly forgot that came out.
Yep. So if you are not already on the Solo Leveling bandwagon, jump on in it. It is a wild ride.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing with Solo Leveling, I've heard that it is, like, I know we're 2 episodes in. From what I've heard, it is very good, and is doing pretty well by the source material.
Yep. So that is your recommendation for the week, and we will continue that on. So we will either see you next week, or we will see you on the next episode in the land of Patreon, or if you just like audio and staying local in Spotify land, we still appreciate your support.
And if you want to leave us any comments, do leave them down below or wherever you can leave a comment.
Hell yes, and we will see you then.
Bye bye.